The verdict and the response. The vast chamber of the cosmic assembly stretched beyond what human eyes could comprehend. Crystalline formations jutted from walls that seemed to bend reality itself, while bioluminescent entities floated in perfect, geometric patterns. At the center of this alien grandeur stood Ambassador Sarah Torres, the sole representative of humanity among beings who had ruled the galaxy for eons. Overlord Zephon's voice resonated through the chamber like distant thunder. His form was a shifting mass of dark energy contained within a framework of living metal. "The verdict is unanimous," he declared, his words translated into 1,000 languages simultaneously. Species designation human has been classified as evolutionarily disruptive and cosmically incompatible. Sarah felt her heart skip a beat, but her diplomatic training kept her expression neutral. Around her, representatives of 47 different species observed with various forms of sensory organs. Some resembled geometric patterns of light, others were crystalline structures that hummed with internal energy. A few maintained physical forms that bore distant resemblance to creatures from Earth's oceans or forests, but twisted by millions of years of separate evolution. "The evidence is overwhelming," continued Zephon, gesturing to holographic displays that materialized in the air. "In the mere 2 centuries since first contact, humans have demonstrated adaptation rates that exceed galactic norms by factors of thousands. Your species learns too quickly, changes too rapidly, and creates too unpredictably." The displays showed Earth's technological progression since first contact. In just 200 years, humanity had gone from basic spaceflight to mastering interstellar communication, developing advanced AI systems, and beginning to terraform distant moons. What should have taken millennia had been accomplished in what the galaxy considered an eye blink. "Your neural plasticity creates cascade effects," added Counselor Vex, a being composed of interconnected geometric shapes that shifted colors as it spoke. "Human innovation patterns disrupt established technological and social equilibriums across multiple sectors. 3 civilizations have already undergone major paradigm shifts simply from observing human problem-solving methodologies." Sarah finally spoke, her voice carrying across the vast chamber with surprising strength. "Honored Assembly, humanity has always been willing to learn from our galactic neighbors. We've followed every protocol, respected every boundary, and contributed positively to interstellar commerce and research. What crime have we committed beyond being ourselves?" A ripple of what might have been amusement passed through the alien gathering. Overlord Zephon's form pulsed with darker energy. "Crime? No, Ambassador Torres. This is not punishment. This is preservation. The galaxy has achieved stable equilibrium. Over millions of years, your species represents a variable that threatens this balance." The holographic displays shifted to show the proposed solution. Earth would be relocated to the void sector, a region of space between galactic arms where few resources existed and even fewer civilizations dared to venture. The planet would be moved using technology beyond human comprehension, placed in orbit around a dying star that would provide minimal energy for survival. "You will have 60 Earth days to prepare," Zephon announced. "Sufficient time to gather essential resources and make peace with your situation. The galaxy will remember humanity fondly, but from a safe distance." As the session ended and the alien representatives began to dissolve or float away, Sarah remained standing in the center of the chamber. She activated her quantum communicator and sent a single message back to Earth. "They're not giving us a choice. Emergency protocols are now in effect." The response came immediately from Mission Control in Geneva. "Understood, Ambassador. Project Phoenix is authorized. Come home." During the 3-day journey back to Earth, Sarah reviewed every second of the assembly session. The aliens had made their decision based on fear, masked as wisdom. They saw human adaptability as chaos rather than strength. They observed human creativity and innovation and chose to contain it rather than learn from it. What they didn't understand was that humans had faced extinction before and had never chosen surrender. Earth's response began before Sarah's ship entered the solar system. Every major city had been placed under emergency coordination protocols. The planet's greatest minds, from Nobel laureates to street-smart inventors, were being gathered into specialized teams. Military installations became research centers. Universities transformed into development hubs. Even children were encouraged to contribute ideas through global networks. Dr. Marcus Reed stood before the newly assembled Project Phoenix team in what had once been the United Nations building. The brilliant xenobiologist had spent his career studying alien life forms, but now he was tasked with something far more ambitious. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, addressing the 1,000-strong gathering of Earth's finest minds, "we have been given 60 days to accomplish something unprecedented in human history." The massive screen behind him displayed the challenge: relocating an entire planet while maintaining life support for 8 billion people, all while developing the technology and infrastructure to thrive in one of the galaxy's most hostile regions. "Cosmic Assembly believes they're sending us to die slowly," Reed continued. "They expect us to spend our remaining years as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked evolution. They're wrong." Captain Elena Vasquez, recently promoted to coordinate all military aspects of the project, stepped forward. Her background in aerospace engineering and strategic planning made her invaluable for the logistical nightmare ahead. "The Assembly gave us 60 days because they calculated it would take us at least that long just to panic properly. They don't understand that humans work best under pressure. The plan they outlined was audacious beyond anything attempted in human history. Rather than simply accepting exile, humanity would use the forced relocation as an opportunity to transcend every limitation that had previously defined their species." Project Phoenix had 7 primary objectives. First, develop technology to not just survive in the void sector, but to thrive there. Second, enhance human physiology to adapt to extreme conditions without losing essential humanity. Third, create sustainable ecosystems that could function with minimal stellar energy. Fourth, establish manufacturing capabilities that could produce everything needed for civilization, from basic stellar matter. Fifth, develop faster-than-light communication systems independent of galactic networks. Sixth, design defensive systems capable of protecting Earth from any future threats. Seventh, and most importantly, prove to the galaxy that human potential was limitless when properly directed. The first breakthrough came on day 7. Dr. Reed's team successfully created the first enhanced human volunteers. Using advanced genetic therapy combined with nanotechnology, they developed humans who could process cosmic radiation as an energy source, survive in near-vacuum conditions, and maintain cognitive function in extreme cold. The volunteers weren't becoming less human, they were becoming more adaptable versions of humanity. By day 15, engineering teams had designed revolutionary energy collection systems that could harvest power from cosmic background radiation, stellar wind, and even quantum fluctuations in space itself. The technology was so advanced that it made traditional fusion power seem primitive. Day 23 brought the agricultural revolution. Scientists created plants that could photosynthesize using any form of electromagnetic radiation, grow in zero gravity, and produce oxygen at rates that exceeded Earth's forests. These weren't genetically modified Earth plants, but entirely new life forms designed from first principles. Captain Vasquez coordinated the construction of humanity's new infrastructure. Massive ships were built not just to transport people, but to serve as mobile cities capable of supporting millions of inhabitants indefinitely. Each vessel contained complete manufacturing facilities, research laboratories, schools, hospitals, and recreational areas. They were designed to be self-sufficient while remaining connected to the greater human network. The most remarkable aspect of Project Phoenix was how it unified humanity. National boundaries became irrelevant as the entire species focused on survival and transcendence. Former enemies shared technology freely. Religious differences were set aside in favor of common purpose. Social class distinctions dissolved as everyone contributed according to their abilities. On day 40, something unexpected happened. The galaxy began to take notice. Observer Clicks, a crystalline being assigned to monitor Earth's preparation for exile, sent urgent reports back to the Cosmic Assembly. The aliens had expected to observe a dying civilization, making desperate preparations for inevitable extinction. Instead, they witnessed the birth of something unprecedented. The humans are not preparing for exile, Clicks reported. It's crystalline, form vibrating with excitement and concern. They are preparing for evolution. Their technological advancement in the past 40 days exceeds what most species achieve in millennia. The Assembly's response was swift. Additional observers were dispatched to Earth, equipped with the most advanced monitoring technology available. What they discovered challenged every assumption about human nature and potential. Humanity wasn't just surviving the exile sentence, they were using it as a catalyst for becoming something the galaxy had never seen before. The forced relocation wasn't destroying human civilization, it was liberating human potential from the constraints of conventional thinking. Dr. Reed addressed the global population on day 55. His words were broadcast to every corner of Earth and beyond, where alien observers listened with growing amazement. "My fellow humans," he began, "in 5 days, we begin the greatest adventure in our species' history. The galaxy believes they're punishing us, but they've actually given us the greatest gift possible. The motivation to transcend every limitation we've ever accepted." He gestured to the massive ships now orbiting Earth, their hulls gleaming with technology that made them look like works of art rather than mere vessels. "We're not going into exile. We're going to become the species the galaxy never dared to imagine was possible." As the final countdown began, humanity prepared not for defeat but for their greatest triumph. The galaxy had wanted to contain human potential. Instead, they had unleashed it completely. The transformation and the revelation. The relocation began exactly 60 days after the Assembly's decree. Massive energy beams generated by technologies beyond human comprehension began to alter Earth's orbital mechanics. The planet slowly drifted away from its ancient position, carrying with it 8 billion humans who refused to accept defeat. From the bridge of the flagship Determination, Captain Vasquez watched Earth's sun grow smaller in the view screen. Around her, dozens of other ships maintained formation, their crews representing the finest humanity had to offer. These weren't refugees fleeing destruction, but pioneers embarking on the greatest journey in human history. "Initial phase complete," reported her navigation officer. "We're officially beyond the inner system. Void sector approach in approximately 96 hours. Vasquez nodded, then activated the ship-wide communication system. "Attention all vessels and Earth-based stations. We have successfully begun our transition to humanity's new home. All systems are performing beyond specifications. We are not exiles. We are explorers." Observer Clicks, still monitoring from a cloaked position, transmitted increasingly urgent reports to the Cosmic Assembly. The humans weren't simply enduring their relocation, they were thriving during it. Their ships moved in perfect coordination, their people worked with remarkable efficiency, and their technology continued to evolve in real time. The first major test came when Earth entered the outer boundaries of the void sector. The region lived up to its reputation for hostility. Cosmic radiation levels spiked beyond what most life forms could survive. Gravitational anomalies threatened to tear apart anything not properly shielded. The cold approached absolute zero, and the nearest energy source was a dying red dwarf star that barely provided enough warmth to keep hydrogen from freezing. Instead of struggling against these conditions, humanity embraced them. Dr. Reed's enhanced. Humans began to demonstrate abilities that amazed even their creators. They could work in the vacuum of space without protective suits, using cosmic radiation as an energy source to power their enhanced metabolism. Their modified eyes could see across the entire electromagnetic spectrum, turning the apparently empty void into a rich landscape of energy patterns and resource opportunities. "We're not fighting the environment," Reed explained to the Assembly's observers who had been granted permission to monitor the human settlement process. "We're becoming part of it. Adaptation isn't about resistance, it's about integration." The agricultural systems exceeded all expectations. The new plant species didn't just survive in the void sector, they flourished. Gardens and forests grew on the surfaces of the ships and in specially constructed habitats around Earth's new position. These weren't pale imitations of Earth's original ecosystems, but vibrant new forms of life that turned the hostile void into a garden. By the end of the first month in the void sector, humanity's energy collection systems were producing more power than their entire civilization had used before the relocation. The quantum fluctuation harvesters, cosmic wind collectors, and radiation converters turned the seemingly empty space into an abundant energy source. Captain Vasquez established the first permanent human settlement on a nearby asteroid that her engineers had transformed into a thriving city. The facility could house 500,000 people comfortably, while serving as a manufacturing center, capable of producing anything needed for continued expansion. "We're not just surviving," she reported to Earth's Coordination Center. "We're growing. Our population has the resources to expand beyond anything we could have achieved in the old solar system." The breakthrough that changed everything came on day 97 after relocation. Dr. Reed's team discovered that the enhanced humans were developing new abilities spontaneously. The harsh conditions of the void sector weren't limiting human potential. They were revealing capabilities that had always existed but never been needed. Some humans began to demonstrate direct quantum consciousness, able to perceive and manipulate matter at the subatomic level through focused thought. Others developed the ability to communicate across vast distances without technology, using quantum entanglement effects generated by their enhanced neural structures. A few even showed signs of being able to perceive multiple dimensions simultaneously. "We're witnessing the birth of a new form of human consciousness," Reed reported to the Global Research Network. "The galaxy forced us into conditions that activated dormant aspects of human neural architecture. We're not becoming less human. We're becoming more human than we ever knew was possible." Observer Clicks watched these developments with growing alarm and fascination. The crystalline being's reports to the cosmic assembly became increasingly urgent as humanity's capabilities expanded beyond anything in galactic records. "The humans are exceeding all established parameters for species development," Clicks transmitted. "Their adaptation rate in the void sector is not just fast, it's exponential. They're developing abilities that rival the most advanced species in the galaxy, and they're doing it in months rather than millennia." The assembly's response was swift and decisive. Overlord Zephon himself traveled to the void sector, accompanied by representatives from 12 of the galaxy's most ancient and powerful civilizations. They arrived expecting to find a struggling human colony, barely surviving in the harsh conditions. Instead, they discovered a thriving civilization that had transformed one of the galaxy's most hostile regions into a paradise of technology and life. The meeting took place aboard the Determination, where Captain Vasquez welcomed the alien delegation with the confidence of someone who had already achieved the impossible. The ship's corridors hummed with energy from systems that the aliens couldn't fully comprehend, while enhanced humans moved through the spaces with grace and purpose that spoke of perfect adaptation to their environment. "Overlord Zephon," Vasquez said, greeting the dark energy being with respectful but unfearful acknowledgement. "Welcome to humanity's new home. I trust you're finding our development educational." Zephon's form pulsed with complex emotions that his species had no words for. The humans had done more than survive their exile. They had used it to transcend every limitation the galaxy had assumed was permanent for their species. "This is impossible," Zephon stated, his voice carrying undertones of confusion and what might have been admiration. "The void sector should have contained your expansion. These conditions should have forced you into sustainable but limited existence." Dr. Reed stepped forward, his enhanced form radiating calm confidence. "Honorable Overlord, you made the same mistake that many have made throughout human history. You assumed that harsh conditions would limit us. Instead, they revealed our true potential." The tour that followed challenged every assumption the alien delegation had about species development, environmental limitations, and the nature of consciousness itself. They observed humans who could manipulate matter with thought, children who learned at rates that exceeded their civilization's most advanced artificial intelligences, and artists who created beauty that transcended physical dimensions. "You haven't just adapted to the void sector," observed Counselor Vex, its geometric form shifting through patterns that indicated deep contemplation. You've transformed it into something new. This region of space is no longer void. It's becoming a nexus of life and energy that rivals the galaxy's core systems. Captain Vasquez smiled, the expression carrying the weight of humanity's greatest triumph. That's what humans do, Counselor. We don't just adapt to environments, we transform them while transforming ourselves. You tried to contain us by putting us in the harshest possible conditions. Instead, you gave us exactly what we needed to become our best selves. The revelation that shook the galaxy came when Dr. Reed demonstrated humanity's latest breakthrough. The enhanced humans had developed the ability to perceive and interact with the quantum foundations of reality itself. They could manipulate space-time on small scales, create matter from energy patterns, and even establish instantaneous communication across galactic distances. The void sector forced us to understand the universe at its most fundamental level, Reed explained to the stunned alien observers. When you can't rely on stellar energy, gravitational stability, or abundant matter, you learn to work with the basic forces that underlie all existence. Observer Clix's form vibrated with frequencies that indicated extreme agitation. These capabilities exceed anything in our records. The humans have developed abilities that we classified as theoretically impossible. Overlord Zephon remained, silent for a long moment, his dark energy form pulsing with complex calculations. Finally, he spoke words that would echo throughout galactic history. We have made an error of unprecedented magnitude. We thought we were containing a disruptive species. Instead, we have created something beyond our understanding or control. The meeting concluded with an offer that stunned both species. Humanity, rather than seeking revenge or demanding apologies, extended an invitation to the galaxy. They offered to share their new knowledge, to teach other species how to transcend their limitations, and to work together to explore possibilities that none had imagined before. We're not interested in conquest or domination, Captain Vasquez explained to the Assembly delegation. We're interested in growth, discovery, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The galaxy tried to limit us because they feared change. We're offering to show them that change doesn't have to be feared. It can be embraced. As the alien representatives prepared to return to their civilizations with news that would reshape galactic politics, Dr. Reed made one final observation that captured the essence of humanity's transformation. You banished us because you thought we were too unpredictable, too adaptable, too creative. You were right about our nature, but wrong about what it means. Humanity doesn't destroy order. We create new forms of order that are more beautiful and more powerful than what came before. The galaxy had decided to exile Earth, expecting to contain human potential through isolation and harsh conditions. Instead, they had provided humanity with exactly what they needed to transcend every limitation and become something magnificent. The species that had been cast out as too disruptive to coexist with galactic civilization had become the teachers the galaxy never knew it needed. In the void sector, now transformed into humanity's greatest garden, 8 billion humans continued to grow, learn, and evolve. They had proven that human potential was not something to be feared or contained, but something to be celebrated and shared. The galaxy would never be the same.